in a higher education conference is currently underway in Cape Town. Let's cross to our reporter, Reginald Witbooi, for more. Reginald, a very good morning to you. What's happening this weekend?
Well, a very good morning to you, Lebo, and also to our viewers. Now, it's very important to mention that today is Transgender Remembrance Day, and it's a day to honor those members within the LGBTQIA+ community who are members who were lost to oppression, stigma, and also violence. Now, today, here in Cape Town, in Salt River, the National Conference on Transgender and Diverse Inclusive Education Conference is taking place here. Now, our Constitution is also making it very clear that everybody within South Africa, whatever your race, whatever your sexual preference, should be treated equally and you should not be discriminated against. Now, you can imagine when you go to a higher education and you are conforming yourself to the LGBTQIA+ community, your focus should be on books and for the betterment of your education, not to be discriminated or to have prejudice from your peers or from professors, doctors, discriminating against you. But I'm joined now by the Executive Director of Gender Dynamics, Liberty Matasa, just going to speak to us about the importance of this conference and what it means. A very good morning to you, Liberty, and welcome on the SABC News channel. Just tell us about today, the National Conference on Trans and Gender Diverse Persons. What is the purpose of this conference?
Good day, Reggie. So, as an organization, Gender Dynamics fights for the rights of trans and gender diverse persons, and one of our focal areas is education and upholding the right to education. We recognize that trans and gender diverse persons exist everywhere, and so higher education is one domain, and so we need to ensure that the policy landscape within higher education, the curriculum within higher education, as well as practice and institutional cultures are conducive to the overall wellness of trans and gender diverse persons, to ensure that when people step into higher education, they actually stand a chance of completing higher education with success and in record time. We know at the moment that stigma, discrimination, and violence contributes heavily towards premature dropout and stop out within higher education, where people are feeling that they don't want to continue with completing their degrees or diplomas because these particular contexts are not conducive to learning and being educated.
Speaking about those issues, violence, stigma, oppression, when it comes to policy making, do we see any progress from the relevant stakeholders, specifically from government and LGBTQIA+ organizations?
So I think that we are seeing momentum being gained at the moment around, for example, legal gender recognition, which is a key issue that we are addressing at the moment, that we get access to legal gender recognition on the basis of gender self-determination, and also looking at gender recognition beyond the gender binaries. About a week ago, we had a dialogue with the South African government that was also joined by the European Union, and that was hosted in Johannesburg. And a large component was around getting political commitment and buy-in from government to recognize that if we are not going to be recognized on the basis of gender self-determination, we are continuously going to be subject to being misgendered, being dead named, and of course the incorrect pronouns being used. And this is what we are seeing playing itself out in society at large, but also within institutions of higher learning. And so we are seeing some degree of progress in that direction, that we will see law reform in the country, and of course at that strategic level that might unlock further possibilities for how we are recognized, how we are protected, and of course how we are validated as trans and gender diverse persons, not only within higher education but in society at large.
Just in short and very brief, what is your take on Transgender Remembrance Day?
So it's a day upon which we commemorate all of the lives lost due to transphobic violence, stigma, and discrimination. And we impart a message of hope to society and saying that please open your hearts and your minds and recognize that we are here as trans and gender diverse persons. We exist in families and communities. Love us, appreciate, and respect us for who we are.
Thank you so much. Well, that was Liberty Matasa, the Executive Director at Gender Dynamics, telling us about this conference that's going to take place here in Cape Town on trans and gender diverse inclusion when it comes to education. But with that said, we are going to start at 9 o'clock with the conference. From us here in Salt River, Cape Town, we are going to take you to a break.